In recent years, advances in technology and committed excavation efforts have led to the discovery of incredible relics and secrets buried for thousands of years. These finds, ranging from mysterious artifacts to entire cities lost to time, have captivated archaeologists and historians alike. While many of these discoveries reinforce what we already know, others have dramatically transformed our understanding of ancient civilizations. Join us as we dive into the most amazing recent archaeological finds. Number 20. Emperor Nero's Sphinx Room. In 2018, while restoring Emperor Nero's palace in Rome, conservationists stumbled upon a stunning find, an underground chamber hidden away for over 1,900 years. This secret room, filled with vibrant frescoes, showcases art depicting panthers, centaurs, and notably, a sphinx. Because of this, the chamber has been affectionately dubbed the Sphinx Room. The palace, known as the Domus Aurea, was constructed after a massive fire in 64 AD that devastated much of Rome. This extravagant residence was Nero's crowning achievement, though over the centuries it has fallen into disrepair. The discovery of the Sphinx Room adds a rich layer to our understanding of Nero's deep appreciation for art. It's a room filled not only with mythical creatures, but also murals of flowers, fruits, water animals, exotic birds, and depictions of the god Pan. Currently, this chamber is buried under tons of earth, and disturbing this site might threaten the structural integrity of the rest of the palace. As a result, it might be some time before the full treasures of the Sphinx Room can be safely explored. Investigations that began in early 2019 are ongoing, promising to eventually offer deeper insights into the life and times of one of Rome's most controversial rulers. Nero, infamous not just for his architectural projects, but also for his dramatic personal life, including the alleged murder of his mother and both of his wives, and his own suicide, continues to fascinate historians and archaeologists alike. Number 19. Thasotan Fossil. In August 2022, paleontologists made a jaw-dropping discovery in Morocco. They found a fossil belonging to a massive sea predator named Thasotan atrox, which translates to dreadful titan of the sea. This creature, which lived around 66 million years ago, was no ordinary marine reptile. Growing up to 30 feet in length, Thasotan had a terrifying combination of features. Think of it as part Komodo dragon, part great white shark, with a touch of T-Rex and killer whale thrown in. The fossil was unearthed near Casablanca by a team from the University of Bath. What set Thasotan apart from other mosasaurs, the group of marine lizards it belonged to, was its role as an apex predator. Unlike other mosasaurs that hunted fish and squid, Thasotan preyed on other large marine reptiles, including sea turtles and other mosasaurs. Its massive conical teeth were designed for crushing bones, which left many of them broken and worn evidence of the brutal nature of its diet. In fact, scientists found the remains of Thasotan's prey nearby, including damaged bones and skulls from various marine creatures, showing signs of having been partially digested. Number 18. Burned Neolithic porridge. In January 2024, archaeologists made a fascinating discovery at the Neolithic settlement of Oldenburg LA7 in Germany. They found the charred remains of what might be the world's oldest burnt porridge, dating back around 5,000 years. The cooking mishap was revealed on the inside of a broken clay pot, which was tossed into a rubbish heap by a frustrated Neolithic cook. The pot's contents included emmer wheat, barley, and seeds from a wild plant called white goosefoot. This ancient porridge was likely prepared by mixing these grains and seeds with water. However, something went wrong during the cooking process, leaving the porridge scorched and uneaten. Despite the failed meal, this discovery offers a rare glimpse into the daily life and diet of early farming communities in Northern Europe. The settlement of Oldenburg LA7, one of Germany's oldest villages, was home to people who clearly valued a varied diet, including cereals and wild plants. The evidence from this charred pot shows that even Neolithic people struggled with the same cooking challenges we face today. Number 17. The City of Bones. In the northeastern region of China, archaeologists made a startling discovery back in 2011. They uncovered the remains of 97 individuals packed tightly inside a single house within the ancient village known as Hamin Mangha. This settlement dates back approximately 5,000 years to around 3000 BC, making this find both significant and mysterious. The skeletal remains belong to young adults, all between the ages of 19 and 35. The way they were hurriedly placed together suggests a sudden and catastrophic event struck the community. Researchers have been diligently investigating what could have caused such a massive loss of life in a single moment. Initial theories like a devastating fire or a violent attack were considered but eventually dismissed due to lack of supporting evidence. The most plausible explanation points towards a deadly epidemic sweeping through the village. Experts suspect that a severe outbreak, possibly caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, was responsible. This is the same pathogen that would later unleash the infamous Black Death in medieval Europe. During this Neolithic period, communities like Hamin Mangha were among the first to practice animal domestication and organized agriculture. Storing large quantities of grain likely attracted rodents, which are known carriers of dangerous diseases such as the plague. Close contact with domesticated animals could have further facilitated the spread of infectious agents among the population. This tragic event shows how early communities faced big challenges when trying to advance their societies. By settling down and growing crops, they accidentally created an environment where deadly diseases could spread quickly. Number 16. Drought in Mayapan. A recent study by international scientists has revealed new details about the fall of the ancient Maya capital, Mayapan. This city was the last stronghold of the Maya civilization and was completely abandoned by the mid-15th century. Unfortunately, the Maya brought about their own downfall. For 3,000 years, the Maya ruled the Yucatan Peninsula, but by the 9th century AD, their empire began to crumble. In about 100 years, much of their territory fell into chaos. Mayapan, however, managed to survive while other cities fell. It became the center of the Maya Empire in the 12th century and continued to thrive for another 300 years. At its peak, Mayapan was a highly advanced city, home to between 15,000 and 17,000 people. Unlike other Maya cities that were destroyed by drought, Mayapan could have endured until the arrival of the Spaniards. But a powerful family within the city, known as the Shu family, changed its fate. This aristocratic family had lost much of its power due to the drought that had affected the rest of the empire. In 1441, driven by anger and desperation, they led a revolt against Mayapan. The revolt was devastating. The city was torn apart from within, sacked, and reduced to ashes. The greatness of the Maya was destroyed overnight, and the tragedy is that it was the Maya themselves who caused it. Number 15. Sculpture of Cahokia. In May 2023, during the construction of Mexico's Maya train, archaeologists made an extraordinary discovery: a rare statue of the Mayan god, Cahokia. This significant find was made along Section 7 of the train route, which runs from Bacalar in Quintana Roo to Escárcega in Campeche. Cahokia, the god of lightning, power, and fertility, is rarely depicted in 3 dimensions, making this statue an exceptional artifact. The statue was found as part of a stone urn, with Cahokia's head adorning the lid. This marks the first time such a 3-dimensional representation of Cahokia has been found in Mexico. Previously, only 3 other statues had been discovered, all in Tikal, Guatemala. The statue is characterized by Cahokia's distinctive features: large eyes, an upturned snout, and a stone celt protruding from his forehead. This discovery is one of many made during the Maya train project, which has unearthed nearly 50,000 ancient structures and countless artifacts, including pottery and human remains. Number 14. Tartessos faces. Archaeologists digging in the heart of Spain made a discovery that completely rewrites what we know about an ancient civilization. In May 2023, 5 life-sized stone busts were unearthed near Mérida, and they're unlike anything we've seen before. These aren't just any sculptures. They're the first known human depictions of the mysterious Tartessos people, a civilization that disappeared over 2,500 years ago. Found in a sealed pit surrounded by sacrificial animal bones, these busts date back to the 5th century BC. 2 of them are almost fully intact, showcasing female figures with detailed jewelry, likely representing powerful goddesses. This is a big deal because, until now, experts believed the Tartessos culture only depicted their gods as animals or plants, not as human figures. The busts have turned what we thought we knew about Tartessos on its head. They offer a glimpse into the religious and artistic practices of a civilization that some historians, like Aristotle, once linked to the legendary Atlantis. Number 13. The end of the Byzantines. The Byzantine Empire had a serious garbage problem. They produced so much waste that it led to widespread disease and misery. This empire was the last part of the original Roman Empire, lasting another 1,000 years after Rome fell to the Goths in the 5th century. But in 1453, the Byzantine Empire finally collapsed. Archaeologist Guy Baraz from the University of Haifa recently studied the remains of a Byzantine settlement in the Negev desert of Israel. The city, known as Elusa, fell long before the empire itself. The researchers discovered that trash collection, which was once a reliable service, stopped in the 6th century. For about 150 years, garbage was handled, and then suddenly, it stopped. This indicated a collapse of infrastructure and a failure of public services. What's surprising is that Elusa started to decline during a period of peace and stability. Roman Emperor Justinian was expanding the empire, and everything seemed to be going well. Yet, beneath this surface, things were falling apart. The failing infrastructure, likely due to political issues, led to disease outbreaks. With trash no longer being collected, the city quickly fell into ruin. Elusa's fall was a warning, showing how internal problems can destroy a city. This small city's downfall hinted at the greater collapse that was to come for the entire Byzantine Empire. Number 12. Aztec Sacrifices. In 2019, archaeologists made a thrilling discovery in Mexico City, right in the heart of what was once the Aztec Empire's sacred center. They unearthed a large stone box on a circular platform near the steps of the Aztecs' most sacred temple, the Templo Mayor. This temple, which stood 15 stories tall, was a marvel of Aztec architecture until it was destroyed in 1521 during the Spanish conquest. Inside this stone box, researchers found a jaguar dressed in the garb of an Aztec warrior. This was not just any artifact. The level of detail suggested it held great ritual significance. Alongside the jaguar, the remains of a child were discovered, adorned to resemble the Aztec god of war. This child, likely a sacrificial victim, was surrounded by other precious items: flint knives decorated with jewels, the bones of a bird similar to a flamingo, and various shells and coral. These findings are particularly significant because they might point the way to an Aztec emperor's tomb, a discovery that has yet to be made, despite centuries of archaeological work in the area. The Aztecs were known to cremate their rulers and bury them with opulent offerings and the hearts of sacrificed slaves. The artifacts and the arrangement within the box suggest it could be the final resting place of an emperor, with the jaguar symbolically representing the king as a fearless warrior. The discovery was made possible by careful excavation just outside the Templo Mayor. However, despite the potential historical significance, the project faced financial challenges. The Mexican government reduced funding, and many archaeologists involved have not received their pay. They remain hopeful that they can resume work and perhaps uncover the first ever remains of an Aztec emperor, buried some 500 years ago. Number 11. Cahokia. 1,000 years ago, on the banks of the Mississippi River near today's St. Louis, stood Cahokia, a city vast and bustling. It spanned many miles, featuring towering earth mounds, vast plazas, and extensive farmland. At its peak in the 1100s, Cahokia was home to at least 20,000 people, making it a more impressive metropolis than even Paris at the time. It became a cultural hub where Native Americans from across North America gathered to feast, engage in religious ceremonies, and trade wealth. However, by 1350, just 250 years after its peak, Cahokia was mysteriously abandoned. For years, this sudden decline puzzled historians and archaeologists, making it one of North America's greatest archaeological mysteries. Recent studies by the University of Illinois have begun to unravel this mystery, suggesting that the decline of Cahokia was self-inflicted, a result of environmental destruction, or ecocide. Researchers found that the people of Cahokia cut down an excessive number of trees, which led to severe deforestation and soil erosion. This rapid environmental change resulted in increased flooding. The way the trees were cut made the city particularly vulnerable to seasonal rains. When these rains came, there was nothing to stop the water from flooding the city, effectively washing away neighborhoods and forcing the inhabitants to flee their own city. Number 10. Roman Villa Complex. In March 2024, archaeologists from the Red River Archaeology Group made an incredible discovery while working on a housing development in Grove, Oxfordshire. They unearthed a Roman villa complex that dates back as far as the 1st century AD and was in use until the late 4th or early 5th century. The site, known as Brookside Meadows, is remarkable for its rich decorations and the numerous artifacts found. The villa complex features painted plaster, intricate mosaics, and evidence of an advanced underfloor heating system known as a hypocaust. Among the most fascinating discoveries were miniature votive axes, a horsehead belt buckle, and jewelry, all of which provide clues about the site's possible ritual significance. The buckle, dating between AD 350 and 450, suggests a connection to the late Roman military elite. Another intriguing find was a series of tightly coiled lead scrolls, which resemble Roman curse tablets, though they remain blank. Additionally, the site contained T-shaped ovens, likely used for drying cereal grains and hops, indicating that the villa complex also served an agricultural purpose. Number 9. The Destruction of Bari. The ancient city of Bari in Egypt met its end due to two major disasters: a volcanic eruption and a severe drought. Founded in 275 BC by Ptolemy II, who ruled Egypt from 285 to 246 BC, Bari quickly became a thriving trade hub. Goods from the southern Red Sea, including war elephants, flowed into the city. However, Baraniki's reliance on the Nile River proved to be its downfall. Less than 100 years after the city was established, a significant climate shift occurred. A volcanic eruption in 209 BC drastically reduced summer rainfall from the African monsoons, causing the Nile to stop its regular flooding. This led to a severe drought, a shortage of fresh water, and crop failures that hit Baraniki and other cities hard. The situation worsened 2 years later when a revolt broke out against the Ptolemaic dynasty, throwing Egypt into chaos. Widespread famine followed as the royal family lost control of large parts of the country. With no way to sustain itself, Baraniki was eventually abandoned. Number 8. Medieval Necklace. In 2022, archaeologists in the UK made an extraordinary discovery in the village of Harpole, Northamptonshire. Buried for over 1,350 years, they uncovered a stunning medieval necklace, quickly dubbed the Harpole Treasure. This necklace is unlike anything ever found from this period, far more extravagant than similar pieces housed in the British Museum. The necklace dates back to around 630 to 670 AD and was likely worn by a woman of high status, possibly an abbess or a minor royal. It features an array of 30 pendants and beads, including Roman coins, semi-precious stones, garnets, and gold. The centerpiece is a large rectangular cross, intricately designed with gold and garnets, which might have originally been part of a hinge clasp. The Harpole Treasure is remarkable not only for its beauty, but also for its preservation. It is considered one of the most significant early medieval finds in the UK. The burial site also included a large ornate cross with depictions of human faces cast in silver, further suggesting the importance of the individual buried there. Number 7. Quiquilco. Quiquilco was a city located near Lake Texcoco in what is now Mexico City. It began around 3,000 years ago, in 800 BC, and quickly became a major regional hub and ceremonial center. The city was home to about 20,000 people and featured impressive pyramids, large plazas, and other structures typical of a thriving Mesoamerican metropolis. The economy thrived on agriculture, with the fertile lands of the Mexico Valley providing plenty for the population. However, the residents of Quiquilco made a critical mistake. They built their city right next to a massive volcano. Around 100 AD, during the end of the pre-classic period, the Zetel volcano erupted. A massive surge of lava flowed over Quiquilco, covering the city in molten rock. The eruption forced the immediate abandonment of the city. and its people fled to other, safer areas like Toluca and Teotihuacan. The culture of Cuicuilco didn't disappear, though. It merged with that of Teotihuacan, and the influx of people from Cuicuilco helped Teotihuacan rise to power. For the next 500 years, Teotihuacan became the most important center in Mexico, thanks in part to the legacy left by the people of Cuicuilco. Number 6. Hand of Irulegi. In 2021, archaeologists digging in northern Spain uncovered an ancient bronze relic that would challenge everything we thought we knew about the Vascones, a tribe from the late Iron Age. This artifact, now known as the Hand of Irulegi, is not just a simple decorative piece. It carries what is believed to be the oldest known text in the Basque language, etched over 2,100 years ago. When restoration began in 2022, experts were stunned to find a 4-line inscription on the hand. The first word, Sorioneku, is eerily similar to the modern Basque word for good fortune. This discovery turned the academic world on its head, as it revealed that the Vascones were literate long before Roman influence, contrary to previous beliefs. The Hand of Irulegi, likely hung above a doorway for protection, now offers an extraordinary glimpse into the early use of language and writing by the Vascones, providing a direct link to the linguistic roots of the Basque people. Before we move on, here's today's subscriber's pick. This image is a stunning portrayal of a fictional city, perched precariously on the edge of a steep mountain surrounded by waterfalls. But here's the kicker. While this city may be a work of imagination, it eerily mirrors the fate of several real cities that once stood proud, but eventually led themselves to destruction. Let's take Cuicuilco, for example. Once a thriving Mesoamerican city, it was ultimately buried under lava from a nearby volcanic eruption. The city's residents ignored the looming danger, believing they were invincible. Then there's Cahokia, a once thriving metropolis on the banks of the Mississippi River. The inhabitants of this city engaged in excessive deforestation, leading to soil erosion and severe flooding, ultimately washing away neighborhoods and displacing its people. Now back to our fictional city. One can't help but wonder if it too is headed for disaster. With such a precarious location, perched on the edge of a mountain, it's easy to imagine the constant threat of landslides or the mountain crumbling under its weight. The waterfalls, while beautiful, might also be eroding the very foundations on which this city stands. Could it be that this city is already doomed by its very design? Like Cuicuilco and Cahokia, has it sown the seeds of its own destruction? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Number 5. Mascali. In eastern Sicily, there is a town called Mascali, located right under the looming presence of Mount Etna. This spot has proven to be one of the most dangerous places to settle. Mascali has faced disaster after disaster, enduring both earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Despite being repeatedly destroyed by lava flows over the centuries, the town has always been rebuilt in the same place. Between 1284 and 1285, a massive lava flow covered the entire area, burning everything in its path. But after the eruption ended, the resilient people returned and rebuilt their village. This cycle of destruction and rebuilding happened over and over. The most recent catastrophe struck in November 1928, when Mount Etna erupted once more, completely wiping out Mascali's historic center. Yet again, the people did not give up. Instead, they moved a bit downstream and rebuilt their town once more. Mascali's history shows the determination of its people, who refused to abandon their home, even in the face of constant danger. But living in the shadow of Mount Etna means it's only a matter of time before the volcano erupts again and forces them to rebuild once more. Number 4. Roman Ferary Bed. In early 2024, archaeologists made an extraordinary discovery beneath the streets of central London, the first complete Roman funerary bed ever found in Britain. This remarkable find was located 20 feet below ground, preserved by the damp mud of the ancient River Fleet. The bed, made of high-quality oak, dates back nearly 2,000 years. It features intricately carved feet and joints held together with wooden pegs, a testament to the craftsmanship of the time. The bed wasn't just a piece of furniture, it was likely used to carry the deceased to their final resting place before being carefully dismantled and placed in the grave. The site, near the Holborn Viaduct, also revealed 5 oak coffins, an exceedingly rare find given that only 3 other Roman-era timber coffins had been discovered in London prior to this. These artifacts suggest that the burial site was intended for high-status individuals, possibly intended for use in the afterlife, as Roman tombstones often depict the deceased reclining on a bed or couch. Number 3. The ancient city of Suthopolis. The ancient city of Suthopolis in Bulgaria lies at the bottom of a lake. It was discovered in 1948 during the construction of a dam. Archaeologists had 6 years to learn as much as they could about this Thracian city before the area was flooded to create an artificial lake. They worked quickly, but once the dam was finished, the waters covered the city, burying it for good, or so it seemed. In 2005, Bulgarian architect Željko Tilev proposed an ambitious plan to preserve and rebuild Suthopolis. His idea was to construct walls around the ruins to keep the water out, allowing tourists to visit the city by boat. They could then look over the walls and see the reconstructed ruins. The project would cost over $50 million, but if completed, it would be one of the most remarkable revivals of a lost city ever undertaken. However, the project has not yet begun. As for Suthopolis itself, it met its end in 281 BC when the Celts attacked. The city had made a fatal error. Most of the homes were built outside the city limits, leaving the residents vulnerable. When the Celts arrived, it was easy for them to kill the inhabitants and burn the city to the ground. Number 2. Roman Mausoleum. In June 2023, archaeologists unearthed a remarkably well-preserved Roman mausoleum in Southwark, central London, just a short distance from the Shard. Described as completely unique, this find is considered the most intact Roman mausoleum ever discovered in Britain. The structure included walls, flooring, and even entrance steps, all of which have survived for nearly 2,000 years. Inside the mausoleum, the archaeologists found a beautifully crafted mosaic featuring a central flower surrounded by concentric circles of red tiles, a design typical of Roman artistry. Interestingly, a second mosaic was discovered directly beneath the first, suggesting that the floor had been raised at some point during the mausoleum's use. The mausoleum likely served as a burial place for wealthy members of Roman society, possibly even a family tomb. Although no coffins were found inside, over 100 coins, pieces of pottery, and other artifacts were scattered around, providing a glimpse into the lives of those who were laid to rest there. The surrounding area revealed more than 80 Roman burials, accompanied by personal items like copper bracelets, glass beads, and bone combs. Number 1. Medieval Water Tunnel. In August 2022, archaeologists and volunteers from the Hyde 900 charity uncovered an extraordinary piece of history beneath the grounds near Hyde Abbey in Winchester, England. This discovery, a medieval water tunnel, dates back to the 9th century, during the reign of King Alfred the Great. The tunnel was likely constructed to supply water to various essential parts of the abbey, including the refectory, kitchens, infirmary, and even the monks' dormitory latrines. The tunnel, a sophisticated vaulted culvert, is believed to have channeled water from a nearby mill dam directly into the abbey's inner precincts. This find is particularly significant because it offers a rare glimpse into the advanced engineering skills of medieval builders. The structure's location, near the final resting place of King Alfred, adds a layer of historical importance to the discovery, as Hyde Abbey was not just a religious center, but also a royal burial site. During the excavation, the team also uncovered a variety of artifacts that further illuminate life in the medieval period. These included Roman pottery shards, medieval tiles, window glass, and bones. The site continues to be of great interest to historians and archaeologists, especially given its connections to one of England's most legendary kings. This remarkable discovery has been hailed as one of the most important finds related to Hyde Abbey, shedding light on both the engineering prowess and the daily life of the medieval occupants. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.